Alright, today we're going to do a thing called motion sketching. This is how to draw pathways which your animations will follow. In After Effects, we did this kind of with the fish and with the crab when we were making our animations. But we put individual keyframes. In this case, what we can do is just draw the path. So make sure you download these two and move them to your After Effects folder. So you should have motion sketching and motion sketching. So two files, an AE file and a Photoshop file. And then go to After Effects. In After Effects, we are going to choose Open instead of choosing
all three of the top layers.
So the project has already been started. We're just going to be adding to it. So here we go.
And now this is
right here, open.
Editable text inside Photoshop. So I can
click on motion sketching and hit open. And so this is what you got. You have a short video of the clouds getting zoomed into. You also have a composition of a fly that's been created with shapes. And you can see the fly little wings flap and stuff. So our goal is to, here we're going to have the fly kind of like fly around here in a little looping way. Alright, so I'm going to go to Layer, New, and we're going to choose Solid. And we're going to change these two values, so 50 and 50, and then hit OK. So that makes this little square right here. Alright? With this square selected, what we can do now is we can create a motion sketch. So what you need to do is go to Window and click on Motion Sketch, and it'll appear over here in this corner. Don't need to worry about changing anything unless you want to change it like this. It doesn't really matter. But we are going to, basically what's going to happen is when we hit Start Capture, you play the video and you're going to trace your mouse how you want it to go. So your goal is to get your mouse to move and finish the trip by the time it reaches the end. Okay, oops. Edit, redo, new song. Okay, so with this, make sure you select it here. Go to Start Capture, and then you're going to click and drag. So I'm going to click and I'm going to drag my mouse.
And over to the right, we have Animate and this little icon here. Clicking that will open up all the different
you can't see it. I'm going to go to View, Show Layer Controls, and now you can see it. So it's made this path, and when I go and I expand this, or hit U, you can see all these itty-bitty keyframes. So this is the keyframes, and watch when I hit play, you can see my little picture is traveling along those keyframes. Alright? So instead of having to go through and do each one of those individually, they're all going to be there. Now, this is quite the messy looking path. So we are going to add smoothing. Now we can't change it here, so we're going to go to Window, and you're going to click on Smoother.
Under the range selector,
alright, and what you can do is you can adjust your tolerance, or actually you can start off with 1, start off with 1 first, 0, 5, or whatever. And your goal is to try to get as few little things as possible. You need a couple of them, like this is good. So I have like 2 right here, and so on, and I can take that, and I can move these guys so it kind of evens out, and you can adjust your handles to make your pathway real smooth. I'll take this and arrange it like so. So it does kind of a nice little loop there. What you kind of want though is you want the distance between them to be pretty similar in size. Because you don't want it to go like fast and slow. So like down here you can see, like if I click on this one here, it's that one, I can move it back. And you can see how it's changing how much size like between the keyframes. And so having it kind of even out down here is a good method. So now when I look at it, it flows a lot smoother than what it was doing before. Okay. Now, we're going to take our fly and we're going to add it on top. So take your fly, drag it, put it right here. And in order to get it to link with this, we are going to use the parent link. Now, if you just click and drag here and you hit play, it'll do this. But you notice how the fly is not on top of this. So I don't want that. So instead, you're going to hold down Shift. You're going to click and you're going to drag. So you see how it moved? So now it is attached to the center of the square. So it flies in the same direction as the square. Okay, now the fly, of course, is crazy big. So let's change the scale right here. We're going to click on this and change it to 30.
Is that the words pop on.
All right.
So this is a real handy solution to,
and that looks
and
good.
A real handy alternative to taking this one layer of text,
now,
splitting it out
see
into
right now
each
the fly
word,
looks kind of silly because
doing
it's facing the same direction. We'll go back and fix that later.
That's one example.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and close out the fly for now. Go back over here, and you're going to click on the position, copy it.
That's 2 words.
And what we're going to do is we're going to add a path, and that path is going to be our trail for the fly. So it's going to look like the fly is leaving a little trail as it flies. So go to Layer, New. This time we're going to add a shape layer. Alright, and with this shape layer, we're going to open.
So this time what I want to do is...
There's nothing currently here, so we have to add something. So we're going to hit Add, and we're going to add a path.
Starting outside of the box,
and then now, we're going to click here and hit Control V.
Go ahead and bring down the position.
And you can see that the path that we've created is now available.
And as we did before, let's define the range.
So it's right there.
Animate on now from 0. Let's go ahead and make sure
that's
to
kind of
scroll
weird.
up and
Hold on.
get
Control
to
Z.
the beginning of our footage. And we'll set a keyframe here for start. Come back down here, and somewhere towards the end, right before the word text starts coming
Control
in.
V. There we go. So click on the word path instead. I'm sorry, I just did that backwards. So click on path, and what's going to do is going to create a path down here. Alright, now the problem with our path is that it's over here, so if you go to transform, you can move the position. It should be positioned at 0, 0.
Alright, so let's go ahead and zoom this back out to...
And that'll put it on the same path as the fly.
Run this back.
So there it is.
Here is a big thing of text. That's playing pretty well.
You can see how it follows the same thing as I drew. There it goes. Alright. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add some thickness to this. So we're going to add a stroke. So go here, go to add stroke. You can see it turns white. Let's go ahead and keep our stroke white, but you can open stroke. And increase the value to about like, about 13 or 10 or something like that. Okay, so it has this pathway right there.
Pretty cool.
Other thing is we are going to add dashes. So hit this plus sign for dashes and increase the dashes to about 50.
The box. And so to do that, let's just go ahead and mask out all this other business down here.
Finally,
so let's select
make a
layer
little
4.
pills. So right here, you're going to change this to a round cap. So this is what it looks like now. When you hit play, we have this little pathway that our fly is following. Looks pretty great. Okay.
We're only showing everything that's inside the
the next part, let's go ahead. We're going to be adding a trim path to that in a little bit, but we're going to go back to the fly first, and we are going to use rotation. So take your keyframe, turn on your rotation, and what we're going to do is use this little this arrow here. You're going to rotate your fly so that like this little dot is on the line at all times. Okay. Now, once you have turned on, hit U, and then you have see your keyframes. So you move your playhead to the next keyframe, and then adjust your rotation so you're back on the line. Okay, and then go to your next keyframe, adjust your rotation.
To conform to a shape other than a straight line. So here in this movie, we'll take a look at how to use paths to shape our text. So here in this example, I've
adjust your rotation.
That's created with a rectangle and a
Make sure you're rotating it in the right direction, otherwise it'll like do a weird spin.
We're going to create that using circles and with the word circle. So let's go ahead and click down here to create a brand new composition, and we'll call this one circle.
And then our last one here.
And over here we have no text, so let's add some text. I'm going to come over here.
Now when you hit play,
and
it looks like it's following the path.
I'm just going to start over here.
Alright, so that leads us to our last step, which will be our trim path. So over here in your shape layer, to our shape layer, we're going to add a trim path. With our trim path, we are going to move our playhead back to 0.
Go ahead and
we're going to turn on the ending and set our end to 0. Alright, and then same as before, you hit the U button, and we're going to follow along with our keyframe. So bring it to the first keyframe, and then adjust the ending so that the little dots don't go past the fly. They're just like with the fly.
And as I do, you'll notice that I'm dragging this non-uniformly. So while you're clicking and dragging, go ahead and hold down Command and Shift.
And so doing this by keyframe
from the center. So somewhere in
here, a little bit more
yourself visually. All right, we just
not generic, but natural.
So the next step
as opposed to just trying to do it one keyframe, or not one keyframe at a time, but from start to finish, because you can see that the fly does kind of go fast from here to here,
it says none, go ahead and
then slows down again on this way, so this will be 100%. So now when we hit play,
100% all the way around. So
it's almost like he's traveling by map.
Let's go ahead and see what we can do
there
to fix
it goes.
that. First of all,
right.
We know that
so there it is. So once you're done, you have that set up. If you'd like to, you can try motion blur if you want.
The mask path. If we say reverse path, watch what happens.
Not necessary, but we're going to finish up. Go to File, save it.
Let's go ahead and play.
Make sure you save this so it's already saved as motion sketching. Go to File, not File, Composition, Add to Media Encoder, and you're going to add it to your media encoder. Make sure again that you are clicking the buttons you need to click, which would include the
you can really achieve quite a
the
bit
title over here, where you can get the address is where you're going to save it to. So make sure you save it to your folders. Everything should be in that After Effects folder that we created for this 9 weeks.
So I'm going to disable my mask and come back into my text
it's
line
taking
here.
Forever. It's almost there.
At the very
Feel
end of
it.
circle,
Here it comes.
Tab, and then typing in circle, tab, circle.
There.
Maybe
So click here.
Tab.
Make sure you're in your After Effects folder. You can title this Motion Sketching.
All right, so click here to accept those changes.
And then you're good. All right.
Path and reintroduce the mask
So
again.
that's what you do. Don't forget to play button and turn that in. All right, good luck.